morning I saw a post that I want to share with you. This is not food, mate. The advice I would give to someone younger would be have multitudes, do different things, play different sports, read different books, do kickboxing one day and learn about skincare the next day, learn cooking and physics and bouldering and more. Be interested, be interesting. You don't know how dots would connect in retrospect, so increase your surface area of dots. If nothing works out, at least you become someone who can hold a conversation regardless of who you talk to, and that is a superpower no one talks about. I've recently been thinking about women and women as they age and passions and purpose and fulfillment. And it's come to me because over the last decade, actually a decade and a half, I've actually worked with thousands of women who are looking to improve their lives. One of the things that I've noted about women as they age is that real lack of drive for pursuits that are passion-filled, that challenge you, that humble you, that involve the cost of entry of being bad at something and learning something new. I have women come to me all the time and say, how do you find your passion? How do you find your purpose? How do you find the things that lift you up? Be interested, be interesting. So when women say to me, how do I meet people like this? I will often say to them, are you a person that the people you want to hang out with would want to hang out with? A lot of times, the people who other women are truly admiring, not just like shallow surface level influencer type people, but the people who are genuinely interesting people. They have a very quick bullshit meter for people who are victims or who play small in life or who do not bring something rich. And this means life in general, not money, something rich to the table, right? Be interested, be interesting. The second thing, you don't know how dots would connect in retrospect, so increase your surface area for dots. Some of you would have heard me share this story before about how I found surfing. Now, for those of you who know me, you'll know that surfing is quite literally my biggest personal passion in life. I didn't start until I was 39 years old, which, by the way, in this sport is considered basically retirement village age. It has now seen me travel to multiple countries around the world. If you gave me a free trip to Lake Como, I would struggle to stay there for very long because it's not by the sea. Like, I am obsessed with this. You might have seen I posted last week, I had a moment in the ocean where I surfed on a wave with a dolphin in the wave and a double rainbow behind it in front of the national park. Like, I've had the most come to moments in my life being in the ocean. Now, how did I find that passion and purpose pursuit for myself? Well, I used to go to the gym in Melbourne. I really like it that much, so I decided to try some structured training, and I started at F45 in Sandringham. When we moved to the Sunshine Coast, I signed up to F45 in Coolum. When I was working out with some people there that I met, they recommended that I might try to do a triathlon because a lot of people on the Sunshine Coast did triathlon. So I signed up for a triathlon. I signed up for a sprint triathlon, and the first one I ended up doing was a half Ironman. So typical of me. Accidentally. How do you accidentally do a half Ironman? That's a story for another time, but that is what I did for my first triathlon. In the training for my first ever triathlon, I had to learn to swim. Hadn't swum since high school, not really great at it, spewed after my first swimming training session. I used to go to squat 2 or 3 times a week. Not once did I ever get up and want to go to squad swim training, but I did want to do a triathlon, and that was the means to the end, so I showed up. Then I had to learn to open water swim because I would be swimming out in the ocean for the triathlons that I was doing. When I started open water swimming, face down, Noosa, I started realizing how unbelievable I felt in the water. I developed this real adoration for the ocean. I absolutely loved it. I became obsessed with being in the sea. It was the only time I truly enjoyed swimming the ocean, right? Then I was signed up for multiple triathlons when the special flu hit the world, and all of these triathlons started to be cancelled one by one off the calendar. But I was training either cycling, riding or swimming for up to 2 hours a day, and I was like, what am I even doing this for if these events keep getting cancelled? So I was like, you know what, I always wanted to try surfing. So as a humble beginner, because the special flu came about and I had realized I liked the ocean, I got a foam surfboard and I took a foam surfboard out at 39 years old into the whitewash like an absolute noodle. And let me tell you, there is no more humbling sport to learn as an adult than fucking surfing. My Les Mills training at Fitness First took me to F45 training in Sandringham, which took me to F45 training in Coolum, where I met people who recommended I should do triathlon, which introduced me to swimming, which introduced me to open water swimming in the ocean, which introduced me to a love of the ocean, which introduced me to the decision to try surfing, which changed my entire life at 39 years old. Dots. You don't know how dots would connect in retrospect, so increase your surface level for dots. Your passions and purpose won't find you on the couch. I loved this post so much. I am sad to see women who are 30, 40, 50 years old realize or not even recognize that they don't have something in their life that makes their heart swell and their rib cage open and their mind explode when they're in the moment with that. And so the only advice I would give to someone younger would be have multitudes, do different things, play different sports, read different books, do kickboxing one day and learn about skincare the next day, learn cooking and physics and bouldering and more. Be interested, be interesting. You don't know how dots would connect in retrospect, so increase your surface area of dots. If nothing works out, at least you become someone who can hold a conversation regardless of who you talk to, and that is a superpower no one talks about. Bye.